We're here for our live talk forum. We're still kind of just starting at 7:15. We're waiting for people to come in. We have a few people here. Mark is here and Steve is here. Hi, guys. Thank you for coming. I'm just going to light us some sage, so we'll wait a few minutes for people to come. If everybody, we'll just wait for everybody to come, and we'll just give it a few minutes. We're not going to wait long. But and then we're going to talk about our show. So hopefully everybody will start showing up in a few minutes. I know it's the week before Christmas, so maybe we have lots of people. Whoever is best from love and have the best show from love. And thank you, God, for that for us. We're coming to you live tonight from the Copper Dragon in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and the Institute for Christ Consciousness, Love, Energy, Healing, and Teaching Center for People and Pets. Okay. And I always talk about this, so you guys pretty much know who I am and what I do. If you can make a donation to us, fantastic, great. Whatever you can give is wonderful. And in energy, if you cannot give financially, do give energetically in the positive, healthiest, best way. We're just going to do a little sage. It's been wild energy these times between the holiday energy and everything that's going on in the world. It's kind of crazy nuts. And so I got my sage. I'm just saging here to get this stuff off. And then, of course, we got a whole really great agenda for us tonight to talk about and do based in God's honest love, truth, and wisdom. That's what we teach. That's what we do. We're going to be answering questions tonight. We're going to be talking about astrology. We're going to be talking about new ways to heal yourself, state-of-the-art stuff with astrology, the most current work that I'm doing in astrology with universe, because what we do is not just astrology. Astrology is one of the fantastic formulas of God, and there's all different kinds of formulas of God or love, right? And astrology is just one of those formulas in this reality that helps us get a handle or a tool on in Earth world, because we can see it in writing, we can see it in the stars, they can map it out and they can show you the formulas and you can learn how to do it, right? And you can also very simply look up everything online too, which is awesome because there's so much information out there. It's like all that is God, it's internet, it's Uranus, right? So tonight we're going to talk about the astrology and God astrology, everything that has to do with love, energy, and working with astrology to live your greatest life like we always do. But tonight we're going to focus on music and healing stuff from past lives, as well as answering your questions too. We're going to have a segment on that as well, because we always have questions that people come in, because this is a question and answer forum for higher knowing. So we teach higher knowing, we answer your questions from higher knowing. Higher knowing means Christ consciousness in this particular case for our show, guided by love, energy, or God in the purest form. Then we have also some stuff I thought I might like to do, but yeah, kind of thought I might like to do, but guided by universe, guided by the stars, right? We're going to talk a little bit about psychometry and what that is and how you can tap into the energy of objects, and everything has messages for you, and everything has a history, a gift, a story for you, and assistance and magic for you, and it helps you with your gift in your life and whatever you need in the times is when your soul calls it in, kind of like when you pick a tarot card. That week we did tarot cards, right? So I got my tea here tonight. Right now we have a little bit of an audience. I think with the holidays it might be kind of crazy, where people are so busy still doing holiday stuff, along with the nuts of these times. So today I got my hibiscus peach tea. You can look it up. It's a great healing tool. We've talked about it before. It's fantastic for helping you with blood pressure naturally, as well as a natural diuretic, right? But, look it up. If you need to contact me as to how to use these things for your greatest health, what is best for you, wisdom from the stars, through wisdom from the stars, then by all means, personal message me if you have any questions about what I talk about here or anything, or if you want to do an appointment or time with me, right? You can also look it up yourself. I tell everybody, truth of God, ask and you shall receive. This is what we teach people, ask and you shall receive, right? So all good stuff we got for you tonight. I'm really excited. And then I also wanted to do a little bit of a discussion, if we can, about Christmas or the holidays and love, because it doesn't matter what religion you are, the holidays are really truly truly, like everything that is religion, part of the grand plan of God, designed by love to bring you to your highest, best, healthiest space of love in all that you are, right? So whatever religion you are in Earth World, or whatever beliefs you have in Earth World, they are designed by love energy in the purest form, all that is God, within the karmic destiny or karmic agreements or law of universe, right? To get you to where you want to go, or where is best for you from love. So we're coming to you live tonight. We have a live audience. You can call in, you can ask questions here as well. And we'll talk a little bit about Christmas and the holidays and things like that. Because the universe is guiding me to a lot tonight. And whatever we get to, we get to. Thank you, God, for us getting to all of it now, please, from love. But I also want to answer your questions as well. So I thought tonight that we would start with some questions, because the holidays are some really rough times, and a lot of shit comes up in the holidays. We have people that we don't see in our family for a while, and then we have to deal with these fuck storms that we didn't have to deal with during the year, when we don't get along with our family, or they've gotten the shot and now their energy has changed, or somebody is sick, or it's the same rivalry of sisters and brothers, or the same problems with your mother or your father or an aunt, or somebody died and there's a will that can't be worked out, and everybody's fighting about money. So there's tons of shit that comes in this time of year, right? There's also death and dying and transformation. So especially in these times, as we are designed to go to the new age for ourselves and for the planet, really, the higher vibrations of love, okay? And this is where we're going and what we're doing. Hi, Madeline. Hi, Sophie. Thank you guys for coming too. And Mark, why didn't you bring your dog?
He's sick.
Oh, what's going on?
His stomach's all messed up, so
okay.
say a prayer for him too. Sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask Universe. So Mark usually brings his dog Lucky. We've talked about him before. Mark's here with us tonight, and I just asked him, because I had talked to him like during the week, and I said, hey, you're welcome to bring Lucky here, right? Because our space is for pets too. It's for all of energy beings, right? Provided from the healthiest space of love that we can get everybody in, right? In the healthiest, best way. So Mark's out here in the audience, and I said, why didn't you bring your dog Lucky? And Mark said that Lucky's sick. What's going on? Because I can help you with this. And you don't have to take my advice or the advice that Spirit calls in for you and Lucky, right? What I am, I'm just going to let you ask the questions and tell me what's going on. And if you could speak up and you're cool with that, that would be great. And just do your best, to be able to speak up so that people can hear you. Okay?
Yeah.
Thanks.
No, he's just got, I don't know, really bad, stomach issues. He's definitely been, he had an accident in the house today, which is very unlike him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was able to get him, some all-natural stuff for his stomach that's supposed to help. So that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's
okay.
pretty much it. Yeah.
So just today he had an accident? Just today?
Today he had an accident.
Right.
Yeah, but I was up till 5 o'clock in the morning with him last night.
Oh yeah, then you should. It would have behooved you just stay home and lay down. I hope you rested today.
I did.
Because it's hard whenever you take care of a sick pet or a sick person or anything that's really super draining on your energy like that. You got to take the time for you. You know what I mean, to get the rest you need. So make sure you do that. It's a hard enough, stressful time this time of year for. In general with the holidays and all. But I do have something before you even told me this. Lucky's diet needs to be changed. Okay, it's in his DNA, in his genetics, right? When I ask angels, God, love, and I get into the space of Lucky's soul, right? And you may be saying, well, why didn't this happen before, right? Lots of things are happening that are different now. But before I go in there, this is what they're telling me, okay, off the board, because this will alleviate these problems, because they're telling me this has happened on and off. Has it not? Are you aware of that? And it's okay if you don't think it has. Right? Or he hasn't since you had him. What's going on?
It hasn't since I've had him.
Since you've had him.
I had him on kibble, and then I moved him over to this Fresh Pets or something that they sell in the grocery store, which is seems like it's a lot better than kibble, but I can see where you're coming from for sure.
Well, ideally, he could use a really good healthy diet of vegetables, fruit, cooked, but who has the time? But you can buy certain breeds, right? Because I know my sister helps us with that, and we've done massive amounts of research with God, because that's what part of what we do to help pets get them on a healthy space, right? And we're as you know, we have many pets, and every single one of them has some kind of deficit. And then we discovered that a main chunk of this is the mold sickness, right? So sicknesses of multi-toxins going on in there, and that's for your dog Lucky too, right? Has he had any shots recently? The other thing is, you usually keep him on traditional veterinarian medicine, right?
Well, I've only taken him to the vet once since I've had him.
Okay.
But right now he is on a medicine to help his breathing, and that's definitely pharmaceutical. So,
Right. What's going on with his breathing?
It was from the heartworms that he had, and they took an X-ray, and like all the little white spaces were supposed to be oxygen or something, and it's actually like kind of on the outside of his lungs, it looked like. So the veterinarian, which you guys actually is the same lady that you guys go to, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great. She's great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was saying...
I don't want to say her name here. She's in Virginia Beach, one of the vets that we work with, who's fantastic. I don't want to say her name without her permission. people get weirdo with this stuff. Go ahead. Thank you. Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah. She's the one who put him on the medicine. And I told her that I, would rather him be on, like, natural stuff.
Yep.
And this is what she recommended, so I'm hoping...
Yeah, because what I'm picking up is the best food for Lucky is going to be your cooked vegetables, and I can give you a whole list of what to do protein-wise, vegetable-wise, and narrow it down with God or universe, guided by them to tell you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also, this has been all through our learning, everything we ask God or love or universe for, right? For ourselves as well as for anybody else who comes in. This is why we go down this journey. Do you see what I'm saying? All right, for ourselves, right? Okay, so you don't have to do anything, but what they're telling me is you could clear all of this shit up and got Lucky off of this stuff, because his chronic health problems come in with that, right? I understand that he had the heartworm, but you're going to rebuild him nutritionally, right? And give him supplements for anti-inflammation, if you so choose to go down a different path, because ultimately the drugs and pharmaceuticals that you're using for him, even including heartworms, if you are using it, are you using heartworms? Because that nails all the worms and stuff, right?
I haven't given him any heartworm medication since I've had him, but he went through heartworm treatment.
No, but there's heartworm pills that they usually take every month. They call them heartworm pills, but they're actually monthly dewormers that the veterinarians usually recommend.
She wrote him a prescription for some.
Okay, so he hasn't been on that.
I didn't feel right about it.
Okay, so, but he hasn't been on that before then?
I don't believe so.
Okay, so there's natural ways to take care of Lucky using vitamins, minerals, herbs, but you have to have the right ones. One of the things that we use is oregano oil, okay, to get rid of parasites and toxins, as well as but again, that's just one thing, and I will ask universe what's best for you. But right now they're telling me that he doesn't need this, right? Because the oregano oil is going to help him internally. It's a natural antibiotic, and you can Google all this stuff because you'll find out. Do you see what I'm saying? So that you can feel better about it. And because I feel your energy, and you're like, oh, I can't do this, and you don't know what you're totally against it. Totally against it. That's what you feel like to me. Do you see that?
I'm more worried about him than anything else.
Right. But that energy makes you want to go back to the things that you're used to and the traditional earth world medicine. They're giving you the solutions right here for him. But if you don't want to try any of it, the one thing that would be really easy and healthy is to do a natural diet for him and cook it, and use certain meats and stuff. And we can go through it if you want to, right? But the bottom line is he's not getting what he needs. The diet that he has is full of inflammation, okay, with the kibble. And this is common, but some dogs can't do that. But this is specific for Lucky. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So what he needs is a natural cooked meals, because it's going to give him vegetables, fruit, not the same thing all the time, right? And we can also give you some cell salts to go with that are going to help his symptoms off the bat, and also help to make him well, right? So like inflammation with his lungs, right? You can use like number 8 cell salt, which is Magsulf. I think is it Magsulf? Is it? Magphos. All right, Magphos is number 8, and that comes in for him because that's really great for lungs and heart, right? So you wouldn't use a spray one like I use. You wouldn't use something like that. You would use the tea pills like we have. I think there's many different companies that make them, but one of the most famous ones or most known for these is Highlands, right? And they're not really overall, they're not super expensive. We've talked about these in other events that we've done, right? But there's specific ones, but the Highlands will help him. But of course, you can't do any kind of natural meds until you make sure that it goes okay with the meds that you got, or if you want to take him off of it. Do you see what I'm saying? And if you want to, call my vet, because she will usually work with you, because this is why we recommended her to you, because she'll work with me with all the stuff that I get from God to recommend for my dog's best well-being as well as yours or whoever's. You know what I mean? She'll work with everybody, because that's part of what makes her so magic. She's not, you have to do it this way and that way. Yeah, they still employ, she doesn't, but a lot of the vets employ their traditional way of vaccines and this and that. But a lot of people don't even know that you can get vaccines for your dogs. Once you get vaccines, you don't need to get vaccines anymore. And a lot of people don't even recommend vaccines because they're toxic. They're toxic. And what you can do is you can do blood tests for the titers, and that's perfectly legal as well and goes with all the city codes as long as your dog doesn't have it and you're keeping a certain level within the dog. Do you see what I'm saying? So you don't have to keep vaccinating and making your animals sicker and sicker and sicker, right? By layers of toxins, right? You do a titer on him. Do you see what I'm saying? So that, because that's just going to make him worse across the board. The same thing with what do you call it? Heartworm pills. And I know this is a touchy subject, right? When we talk about health and things, ultimately you have to figure out in your heart what's truth of God for you and Lucky. If you're not ready to go down this path, then you don't, and there's no wrong. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, right, what is best for him, because I feel like he's got like parasite kind of thing, and he should be on the heartworm pills if that's what she gave you, right? Or a natural alternative such as the oregano, right? Last week, if you remember, guys, we talked about the oregano for that, but you have to be careful because it's powerful stuff. You have to be wise, you have to do the right dosage, and you have to ask God or universe or love or a professional who does this kind of stuff, right? So what's coming in is to change his diet, start him on the cell salts, and also there are the oregano, but there's also, like, even she recommended some really great natural, the vet, right, because she's gone into a more natural space, right? She even recommended a couple of other products that are really good for fighting like mold and mold sickness and bacteria and things like that, right? That are natural herbs that you can give to Lucky. And I have to look those two up, but as a general rule, this is what's coming in for universe. A general rule meaning what is best for you, really, right, for Lucky. But I would start with the diet, right? If in a few days, I mean, if you want to stick with the heartworm pills, this is going to clean it up anyways. Did she give you a dewormer or anything?
No.
All right, did you do the poop sample thing? The poop sample thing?
No, I haven't yet. It's been raining all day, so I don't
know. Okay. Yeah. Well, and you might not have to, but I feel like it's parasites. I feel that if you clear that out, whether you use veterinary medicine guided by their doctor, or you can use the natural stuff that universe is telling me to guide you to. But Lucky needs more nutrition. He's not getting what he needs, and he's getting older, so his system is getting weaker, right? He's had chronic problems like this diarrhea thing, and most dogs will have stuff like this. It's not that Lucky's bad and there's something wrong with him. You haven't had him for that long, but you've had him for long enough, and you can see that he's had all these other issues. But the medicines on top of that make these things worse, right? Whether you realize it or not, or you see it or not, the more toxins you pile into your body, whether you're an animal or a person, the more toxic it becomes. But these are 3 things right here that you can do that are fairly inexpensive. I would use Young Living oils, right? And I will also look into the other stuff, because a lot of people cringe when people recommend, oils for essential oils for pets, right? But the bottom line is, it's not everything that you hear out here for nutrition and with oils and things is the God's honest truth. You want the God's honest truth, you ask God for it, you ask love for it. So that's what you do with the information I'm giving you. But the bottom line is you have to be comfortable with it. There's no wrong here. I'm just giving you better solutions that are natural, and when you are ready, you can use them for him, right? But you're going to find that you're going to keep having this cycle of chronic stuff because he can't get past the things things that he needs. I have some other immune boosters for him, vitamins and minerals and herbs that you can do, as well as turmeric. There's easy feedable turmerics, but you want ones without chemicals, things that are all natural. Yeah, it's an investment, but what do you want to do? Pay thousands of dollars out here to the veterinarian, or pay a little bit more now and have to pay less later and have a healthier life? Do you see what I'm saying? Because they're lying to all of us about the toxins and everything. Whether it's your family sickness, like your mom or your dad or my family or anybody, people, pets. The truth of God is we've been led down the wrong roads, or not the entire truth of God. And there's good things in everything, right? For quick medicine, we've been taught this is how you do it, right? And there's a lot of truth in the science, and there's a lot of truth in God, right? With all of this, right? There's all truth in God, right? But there's a lot of truths from God or universe. But and in natural stuff, you have to decide what is best for you from love and what is best for Lucky. And you have to be comfortable with it. I have another client who I'm working with her kid for her child, her baby, who's like 4 years old. And we're working on autism, ADHD, and learning disorders. And there's all this stuff that I'm getting information to help her, right? But her husband is like not into it. And so she's having some challenges, right? But ultimately, I said to her, you have to decide what is best for you and your son. We've been working together for like a month now, or a month and a half, or I believe like a month at least. It might be now a month and a half, but the bottom line is she's seeing the changes in him. Is that not proof enough, right? So what have you got to lose if you changed it? And there's food so that you won't have to cook this shit up for Lucky. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could get with Jennifer. And Jennifer could help you out. Jennifer's all right. Like, Jennifer needs one more fucking thing to do, right? But so this is coming in to help you, these avenues. But if you're not comfortable, and for people who aren't comfortable with oils, there's other natural stuffs too. In fact, my vet gave me 2 other ones that feel good to me as well. And I'll get back to you on that, because it's like you get a load of information all the time. But right now, this is what's coming in for Lucky, because this will help him across the board, because I feel like he's over the hump with this. But putting him on medicine, they make such a big deal because with the science, this is what we believe. And really, it's not always truth of God. Do you understand that? Yeah, so it's what you buy into, but ultimately you got to feel in your heart. Go home and pray on it. See, ask God what you should do. Should you put him on this? Should you do this? Do you see? Because she will probably give you some dewormers if this doesn't go away, or something like metronidazole, which is great and natural. It's not natural, but it's great antibiotic to clean up in there. But just like anything, antibiotics and medications from, what do they call it? Like traditional doctoring and earth world. There's a name for it offhand. I can't think of it, right? Or traditional medicine that we've been taught and grew up on, right? These things will help you. They will fix the problem in the moment, but the chronic stuff that's still in there is still in there. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a battle of this until at some point it goes down a hill that, or has a propensity to get worse. Do you know what I mean? So does all this make sense to you?
It does.
Yeah, so I'm not telling you have to do anything, but this is a new path and where the new world is going to for your own health, right? As well as what's best for you. And ask the vet. Say, are you cool if I do this? Do you think this could be done with this? So you validate that what universe is telling you is best for you, and you're comfortable with it if you want to go down this path. And if you want to just go to the vet and use her traditional ways, because she's great at what she does too. And she comes from her heart. That's why we love that doctor so much. Otherwise, what?
She was telling me that at her new place that she's working, they have another vet, and that's all he does is holistic medicine. That's all he does.
Yes, he does. And you could go with him too if you feel it. You know what I mean? Personally, I'm not into him at all. All right? And it's not because, he's going to give me a hard time or anything like that. I couldn't really give a fuck about that. What I know is what I feel in my heart, right? And then and everybody's different. Everybody resonates at a different level. So you may be able to work with him, but I'm not feeling it for Lucky, and I'm not feeling it for you. Lucky and you are both higher vibrational animals. And this is the other thing they don't do in healthcare and stuff. They're not going to sit there and tell you higher end guard is more sensitive and can't do this and that, because they have no idea. There's so many things that are metaphysical and physical and healing that they don't even include. All they do is give you medicine and say, okay, your dog is sick. Let me give you something for the vomiting. Let me give you something for the diarrhea. Let me give you something so he'll sleep or stop itching. Do you see what I'm saying? Instead of a natural, better alternative, they do all these things, and they're not truth of God or love. They're simple, fast solutions that are not necessarily what is best for your dog or our health long term. They're good for what they are in the moment, but then it's time to look into something else. So you may want to do this into the future. And you don't have to do what I said, but you can go down these avenues and look into it too. And this is just what I'm picking up for Lucky, because we have a dog named Love who's massive challenges with her health, right? Massive. And this is the same kind of thing, right? We've talked about this, right? And this is all started with what we didn't know, but now we know is this mold issue, right? That's a big chunk of what's going on here, as well as too many shots, right? Because every time you go to the vet, what do they want to do? Inoculate your fucking dog. And how much is enough? You have to think about these things, as well as they're trying to inoculate the world. It's like, do you think we would get a clue? Right? Yeah. We were born with amazing immune systems to begin with. Right? Yeah. So, anyways, so universe is guiding me. They're kind of guiding me to nudge you a little bit, right? In a direction that when I see this, because you're emotionally worried, you want to stick with tradition and what you know, right? So let's ask God to release this from you and give you the best way to handle this from love across the board so that you can do the right thing for you from love and Lucky as well. Good? Mm-hmm. Thank you, God, for these gifts for all of us now, please, from love. And whatever you do, may it be the best thing for Lucky and you and all. And thank you, God, for that for us, from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. Thank you, God, for these gifts in our souls and in all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is in the best way for us and all, or something better. And thank you, God, for that for us. So, and I'm also going to send prayers and healing energy and love like you originally asked for. Okay? Thanks. All right. So, sorry about that. It just came in to help Mark with his dog. But like my dog, Love, she has gone through so many medicines and so much crap, in this area, right? This has all been part of that journey for us, right? And, one of the things she can't do, she has one problem and goes into another. And this is all designed to help me be the best healer that I can be on top of everything else that we've already done. And this is where we're going to for the new world. We have to be the best us we can be. So we pray on everything. We ask God for everything. So this whole journey has been about me figuring it out with spirit, how to do this, what to do here, when to do this, what are we guided to, and why? Right? For each thing. So we can see the God's honest truth about everything, right? So it's not just about my dog's best health and my best well-being as well. It's about releasing all my fears, just like we did at the end here. It's about, finding the best solutions, being able to live and do our life soul's purpose here to help ourselves and to help what's going to come and what's going to happen into the future for all of us, right? Because we've been living in things in not the God's honest truth, and the earth world is moving to that vibration, okay? And everybody get that out there? Yeah. So, do you have any questions about this?
I don't.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. And I know I get wild, right? And it's not wild energy directed at you, it's not to say that you're doing anything wrong. I'm just excited and I want what's best for Lucky, just like you. Right? So like if you were to say, if you look at me, right, and I see you and you're like, you don't want to do this because I feel your emotions are blocking that. So you go right over here to what you know is safe. Do you see what I'm saying? Right? So with me, I get so excited about being able to help people, and I'm so crazy in that fire energy, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to tell them this. Right? But it's not meant to attack you. So thank you, God, for changing that in me, because we're not here to attack people. We're here to help people, So I'm going to ask God to be free of feeling and doing and things in this way, so that it's doesn't come off as an attack, because that's not where it's meant to be, and I don't want to be that guy, right? So let me be the best me in place of this from love in all ways. So you see, we all have stuff that we could work on. You know what I mean? Yeah. So thank you, God, for these gifts now, please, from love in the purest form, in this reality, changes, clearing, healing, and all the best gifts and tools in place of all this and with all this, from love in the purest form for all of us. Thank you, God, for these gifts now, please, in the purest form of love in our souls and all we are, be, say, do, and create in the best way for us and all, or something better. So thank you, guys, for my little tirade here about health. I get wild with it because I want everybody to be well, right? So I'm praying on my shit. Everything that I teach here, I do in real life. life, So, and this is also to show you guys, because, I can say, well, oh wow, I wasn't cool tonight, or I didn't do this, but what I do is I just go home and say, okay, God, clear, heal, and change this, change that, put the best way to be from love. And if we all did all of this in our lives with anything that was, toxic to us, boy, we would grow and change so quick and created our best lives at the same time, right? If I'm meant to do this, God, so be it from love, right? Yeah, for all of us. Okay, so that said, I'm going to go into the segment and ask and answer some people's questions for a little bit, because this wasn't part of the plan, but apparently it was, right? So guided by God. All right, so hi, Molly. I saw you come in when I was in my wild world.
Hi.
All right, thanks for coming. Okay, so go ahead, Rachel. Do we have some questions? We're going to go into some questions.
You have a lot of people saying hi.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you. And Merry Christmas or Happy New Year or whatever you celebrate from love. I hope that you have the best holidays, man. The best family time, the best gifts, the best love energy, the best of everything from love. And thank you, God, for that for us all. Okay, so go ahead. Who's first, Ray?
Laura Marabli. She would like a $5.
Oh, Laura.
And also her friend, I think it's her friend, Dr. Wanda. I think that she just passed away recently.
Yeah.
Wanda was young.
I don't know her personally, but I think so.
Hey, ask Laura. Ask Laura if she knows anything about Dr. Wanda. I know it's very personal, Laura, and I'm sorry. I know that she was one of your friends and mentors, you told me, and it was so great to see you the other night. We had a great day with Laura the other day. She came and visited, and it was just fucking rocking. It was amazing, and it was so good to see her. Laura's one of our practitioners here. She does energy work, and she's like the eternal master student, and while she's a student, she's a master in her own right with doing bars and Reiki and energy work, and she works out of our shopping center here. Incredible fucking work. And cranial sacral, that's most people's all-time favorite. She also does massage. She's just fantastic. Super, super fucking gifted. So thank you, Laura, for awesome gifts that you have and the work that you do, and for being our friend and part of our team, because you're fucking incredible and you're awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to move on before I start to cry about Laura, because I'm jackass sometimes. All right, clear that out, God. All right, so that said, let me see. What do we got for Laura? And I apologize. I'm sorry that, not apologize, but I'm sorry that you have to go through this with the loss of your friend. Anytime we lose somebody, it's rough. But what's interesting is she's here, right? I have her here with me. And Dr. Steve was saying how she's young, isn't she? Yeah, she looked young in the pictures.
She had long dreads.
Yeah.
Dreads.
Yeah. What do you, young meaning 40s?
40s.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling. Yeah, and the difficult time with this North Node and South Node stuff going on right now in the transits is that, in the going into the 12th houses, you have this mysterious illnesses and things, and a lot of this stuff really can be explained through shot shedding, poisons, toxins. All of this comes in as the facilitators or part of the facilitators of all that is going on, right? Because it's really not normal, or really not normal in a healthy space of God or love as a human being to die in your 40s, right? It really isn't, right? But of course, for the average person as a general rule here in Earth world, right? So every soul has its own destiny, right? So clearly she had her own destiny as well, Laura, and everything in God's time. So nothing doesn't happen because the soul doesn't want it to happen. So on a soul level, like we can't say that she got up and said, I want to die today. That's not really how it works, right? What happens is on a subconscious level, your soul, remember we talked about moon signs last night, right? Your soul, in all that it is, picks and chooses what it wants to do in your highest heart self, right? And your moon sign is primary core of all of this as well, all right? But so is everything that is you, okay, in all that you are. But your moon is the governor of your emotions. It's the doorway to every emotion that you have. So this is your heart, okay? But it is also your soul. And everything in there that gets intertwined with emotions and everything that you are, okay? That said, ultimately the soul picks and chooses when it exits. So nothing you could have done could have saved her or anybody else. She makes her own choices and she decides when to go. She's here and she's talking about you. She's telling me how proud she is of you, right? She's saying, it's strange because she's like, it's weird because she's showing me, she's like leaning over like this. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? I'm just trying to figure out what she's doing. Because she's like leaning over. Maybe you know what that is because she keeps showing me this over and over. So I'm going to have to ask her whether it's something she did a lot when she was working with you, or did she do any kind of energy work on you? But I'm going to ask her, ask God, ask the angels, universe, what's the God's honest truth here about why she is doing this? Because she keeps showing me leaning over. And I feel like it's multi-purpose. Like I want to say it's this, but it's this as well. So I feel like she's showing this for multiple reasons. I think she's trying to convey how she went down. In other words, how she passed away. So she's showing me this. I feel like she was like reaching down or picking up or something, and then basically she just checked out. I believe it was what I'm feeling is coronary. Like boom, you're here 1 minute, you're not. Heart related is what is coming in. Now there can be other things intertwined with that, but that's the let me just say, yeah, the primary cause of her crossing over in physical earth world body. Yeah, and what they're telling me is she had issues with blood sugar, and there's something about a clotting issue going on there. So and then ultimately I'm feeling like it had to do with the heart. So it hit the heart, kind of a thing, somehow, some way. This is what happened, but it feels like it went really fast. Okay, like it went fast in a minute. I feel like she's going like this. No, like nobody expected it. Nobody would have expected her to die, and that makes sense, because like Jennifer's associate or friend, old associate and friend, her husband died, and he was 43, and he had massive heart failure too, and nobody expected that. So you're going to find a lot more of this happening in these times. But this is why, just like what happened with Mark here and his dog Lucky, why and what's happening with my family and being sick, because we have to now be master healers and our own health advocates, right? So because of what's coming, right? And so during this north and south node, there's mysterious illnesses, and the answers are really always right there. The question is asking God and getting to the bottom of the truth, and there's truths in everything, but you have to figure it out, or work with God or love, clear your blocks, work on it to create the God's honest truth of what the answers are, what's best for you. And of course, some of us have natural propensities of destinies as healers, like you, Laura. You're a master healer, right? So you have a propensity to keep continuing and going down this path and being really great at what you do, which I feel like you will do into the future. I'm just going to go back and forth with stuff here, clear any toxic or unwell, anything that blocks us. Yeah, she says she's really, really proud of you, is what she says. She wants to know if you have any questions in particular. Does she have any questions, Ray?
I'll let you know if she writes them in.
All right. Yeah, because right now she's just telling me she's really proud of you. She thinks you're doing, the word she's using is amazing, which is true. I totally agree. She's telling me she loves you. You have a work ethic like no other. Welcome. I get that, right? Crazy work ethic. So that's what she's telling me. So she's telling me you really worked on your stuff. Anything else from Laura? This is interesting. She's always telling me to tell you, always ask for the truth of God, the truth of love. Okay? That's really important. God's honest truth. Yeah. So you know why this is, she's telling me. Apparently there's going to be some crossroads for you coming up that you're going to need to get to the bottom of it. Because you're, excuse me, because you're going to have to make some choices and some decisions. Coming in your future, because not everybody in your world, and we've talked a little bit about this before, not everybody in your world is honoring you, respecting you, and doing the right thing from love. So you're going to be dumping these people. That's like Saturn, Libra. There's some other placements that go along with that, or Saturn, Venus. Saturn, Venus. opposition kind of thing in the natal chart. These are things, that's something you could look up. It talks about how you evaluate your friendships and stuff, and we're all going through the same phase as Laura is, because these things have to happen. We have to let go of people who need to do their own way, who need to follow their own hearts, and who are like a ball and chain on us. So because this also in Earth world drags us behind and doesn't allow us to have our destiny. It's kind of like, for years I wanted to start and work with a business with some people in Maryland, and they wouldn't really answer me, and I worked with them for a little while, right? But in the end, what happened is I said, oh, I would love to be in business with you, but the bottom line is they didn't want to be in business with me, and that's okay, right? That's okay, but they weren't upfront and they weren't direct. So at some point I have to go and do my own business. I have to go and follow my own heart. I can't wait around for other people who won't give me an answer, because the truth is they don't really want to work with me. They're not really my friends, and you know what? That's okay. There was a time, when I was in a different space of God or love, right? And universe guided me to work with them, and I love them, a lot of them, right? But not all of them were the healthiest people for me. So ultimately, universe and my soul removed me from that because it no longer serves me. I can't stop my business and my dreams because people won't answer me, and they kind of want to work with me, or they kind of don't, or they want to do it in their terms, or they want to do it in a specific way. But the bottom line is it never really comes to fruition. At some point, I got to cut the ball and chain right the fuck off and say, see you. And the more healthier space of self-love I become in, the more that is going to happen. That's not just for me, that's for everybody in all of our lives. So who you resonate with is the people you should be with, right? And it was just time for me to leave in that destiny, and I don't have bad feelings about it. What's done is done, but I'm using this as a really good example for everybody, even the people who know who they are. And I mean, I don't really give a fuck, I wish them well, but I can't allow them to be a detriment to me and my dreams, right? Yeah, just a really good example is anybody who is married who wants kids and their partner doesn't want kids. At some point, it's going to come to a crossroads, and you're going to have to dump your partner if you want kids and they don't, because that's a deal breaker. My sister will tell you that. She used to say to me all the time, this is a deal breaker when her husband won't want to have kids, right? And that's okay. But it is not okay for us to stop our needs that we have from love and not live our lives, because it's not honoring us in a place of self-love. So you're going to be going through lots of this coming into the future, the next 6 to 8 months. So there's going to be some challenges, including with family. So get your boots on, get your God on, really, because that's how you're going to get through it. When you don't know what to do or say, Jesus, take the wheel. Let love speak through you, right? Thank you, love, for speaking through me from the highest form of love. Best solutions, best gifts, best everything I need. And if somebody just walks in and gives me a challenge, thanks, love, for handling this now, please, right? From love. So those are all your tools, and ask for what you want from love. Thanks, love, for this, for me. So simple, right? If we all did this, then we all raise the vibration, we heal ourselves, we change the world, right? And everything in our lives becomes completely different. Cool as shit, right? Yeah. All right, so what else comes in for you, Laura? I feel like you're going to have a good Christmas. I do feel like there's going to be some chaos there, because there's some very dramatic people in your life, and you know who they are. They just can't quit it. They just can't fucking quit it. So this is about, you getting to a space of, I've had enough of this shit. And you're getting there. We're all getting there, right? I've been, just like today when I sat down and I came in and I'm like, Mark, here it is, right? Here it is, Mark, right? And I'm all wild about it, because we can no longer ignore our truth of God or love. And, it's going to be some challenging, because you're going to have to rein in how you say things and how you speak to people as well, because this energy is such powerful Mars, Pluto energy, and Saturn energy, and doing the right fucking thing, right? That it's hard not to have this action energy that is this take over in these times, especially if you have these placements in your chart. Any kind of Mars opposition kind of stuff, or Mars placements, Pluto placements, these are really powerful things that are going to make you, especially Mars, because that's the action man, that's your Aries, is going to make you stand up for you. And sometimes other people are going to want to stand up for them and get pissed off about it, or and it can cause some things. But that's why these tools are always best. Ask love to speak through you. Ask love to handle it. And always work on your stuff, right? You work on your stuff, clear out the stuff that doesn't work for you, or can be toxic, right? Okay, so that said, anything else for Laura? I do feel like you're going to have a great time for the holidays. I think you're going to have, I think and feel you're going to have a great time with your kids. This doctor, that passed away, she's also saying that she wants, she's saying to me to thank you for honoring her, because you really did a beautiful job of honoring her, writing a segment on Facebook, but really did a really good job of honoring her, and she thought it was lovely, and she just wants to thank you. Okay? All right. So Laura, any questions? Let us know. So who's next?
Ann Williams is wondering if she will be offered to rent the 2-bedroom house that is in her area.
If she will what?
Be offered to rent the 2-bedroom house that is in her area.
I feel like there's a waiting list on it. You could get on it, Ann, but it's only 23 to 27%. But put it out there. Clear your blocks. Ask God for what you want. And if not, ask for it. Ask for this house, right? And ask for the best house for you, regardless. Thank you, God, for that for us. From love, in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is in the universe, will bring you the best house for you. So it doesn't have to literally be this house. This is also what's happening in these times. It doesn't have to be in the way that we say or we think or we believe. So universe is opening the door for these times that are coming. Because if we think it's always going to be like this, it has to be like this, and it has to be our way, and it's the only way, and it's super ego driven, right? This is designed to get us in our heart space more and out of our ego and heal our toxic stuff, right? Because what's coming in the world is massive challenges, right? Into the future. So we're going to have to be what? Flexible. Well, if we think that it can only be like this, and this is just the fucking way it is, then we can't be, we're not really being flexible. So that's where the Jesus take the wheel. I mean, I'm in it as deep as you guys are, knee deep, right? In this, where I think it has to be like this, So I'm always saying to God, in the best way for me and all, or something better, and Jesus take the wheel, right? I'm always talking and working with the universe. And I have to be, or it behooves me to be open to any ways that come in, anything that universe brings to me, right? Because 98.9999999% of the time, universe will always bring it in a better way than we could ever imagine, ever. Right? Or ever create ourselves, right? So the odds are so slim, right? That it would come in the way that you think, right? So the best way for that to happen is in your practical, everyday earth world stuff, right? Oh, thanks God for a glass of milk. When I go home, well, look, there's milk in the refrigerator and there's a glass in my cabinet. So simple and so practical. It's in the way that you would think it, right? But when you start to get really complex with all the habits and patterns and energies that is God, right? It's infinite, right? And this is why they can't, like with this whole, you're going to have nothing and happy in the collective and all the garbage that's going on. They think that they know how things are going to work out with their idea of what is science to them, right? It's not necessarily everything is truth of science, truth of love, and certainly not truth of love and truth of God, right? All the time, for sure. But everything is infinite. And, you cannot imagine or predict anything, in infinite amounts of everything that is God in the head spaces and the toxic spaces that they are in. The second you start to control things, you lose everything. In other words, because you only get super powerful God gifts to the extreme that you could ever infinitely have them by being in your heart. Right? That's how, you can look around you too, and who's in their heart and who's not by the actions that they do, how they act, what they do, what they say. Okay, so going back to you, Anne, with the house, it feels like you will get a house, but you got to let go of these things that you won't let go of. But start creating what you want. Ask God to bring it to you. Ask God for it now. Also, the holiday season in Earth World is a really difficult time, right? I went out there and looked for like 2 weeks, spent 80 hours with my kids, couldn't find shit, even got a realtor, and we were in just a really toxic, dire space of really needing one, and the universe didn't bring it. Why? Because we're not meant to get that house at that time. And I'm like, okay, God, then what do I do now? Where do I live now? How do I do this now? Because if I keep fighting this, then it takes it longer to come in, and then everything else in my life becomes a fight. And where am I constantly fighting and being toxic to myself that I can't create anything that I want or need in the healthiest, best way for me? Do you see what I'm saying? So it's about being flexible. These times, we are with what's going on with the planet and the elevation. of the vibrations of the planet all across the board. We are all being culled of all of our shit at the deepest, darkest Black Moon, Lilith, Chiron, deepest, darkest Plutonian crap, right? That's in our souls, that is buried in our body, that is subconscious energy and conscious energy that we don't even realize is fucking in there, right? But it's coming out in thoughts and, emotional stuff across the board in this life and from past. But it's a primary core of this is 73 to 78% is emotional stuff that has really been rebought up in this lifetime, right? Guided by the past energies in our souls. So this is what is we are releasing right now, right? And a lot of this is that fear that, oh my God, and that has to be this way. So we're having a lot of fear releases, a lot of ego crap of things having to be a certain way and can't let go of it, and beliefs that we don't really see that are our beliefs in our garbage and our crap. So this is where the world has to go. It doesn't have to do anything, but this is where the grand design of God in Earth world with Saturn as the governor of karmic destiny in Earth world, right? And all that is metaphysical too as well. The law of universe in both spiritually as well as in Earth world, right? This is where everything is going to, because we came here to heal and change and create a new planet here from love, okay? But in order for that to happen, we must all be on our hearts. And in order for us to just start here in our hearts, we have to dump shit that we've held on to for lifetimes. And we bury this stuff and we be who we want to be. And a lot of our stuff is hidden, right? And we can't see really the truth of God within us when we have all this toxic energies running in us in all of its capacity. Right? So and to make the changes here and stay in this earth world, this new earth world vibration that we are going to, right? If we don't do this work and make these changes, a really good example of an easy way to do this is just ask God to take the wheel. Ask for what you want, let go, let love clear anything that's stopping this, and ask Jesus or love to take the wheel. Love, handle this now, please. Best things from love, right? So, and this is for all of us to get through these difficult times. And the more we fucking fight this energy, the more this energy kicks our ass, right? So it's kind of like, I've talked about this before. You can't tell God what to do, right? That's for me too. I specialize in trying to do that. I do. So I'm like, clear it out of me now, God. Give me the best way to be from love in place of this, right? So yeah, we can't tell God what to do. And when we fight because it wants to be this way, and I have one client now I'm constantly battling with because it's very challenging. It's very challenging. And that's for all of us, right? Yeah. So we're all going through it, right? But you will find a house. God will take care of you. But the sooner you let go of what you think should be, right? And just let go, let love, and create your house and focus on other stuff, right? So keep creating the other things that you want and that you're doing in your life, right? And keep working with the universe. Keep clearing out your stuff and doing, your spiritual journey, right? Or your love energy journey, and following and being in your heart, the more it's all going to come together. The more you focus on, I don't have a house. How am I going to have a house? Where the fuck am I going to live? I'm going to make myself crazy with it, right? It has to be this way, and I want it this way, and and you make yourself crazy. It keeps creating that in all the energy somewhere in your life, as well as it's internally running in you. So let's just ask God to be free of this. But you will have a house. I feel like it may not be till January, February now, but this isn't because of what is the word I'm looking for? Like super toxic personal shit that you're doing, like you might think like in these belief systems. It's because it's the holidays, it's the grand plan of God, it's designed for you to do other healing work over here so that it puts you more in your heart space. Just like with me, there's a lot of gifts in there of not really having a home to live in, right? It's like I said to my kids, we should be thankful that we're not living in a tent. We should be thankful that we're not living in our truck. We should be thankful that we're warm, that we have everything we need, right? So this is about having a different perspective, right? Because we just got uprooted from a very beautiful home, right? And a very beautiful life, right? And through our health, right? Because you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So this is about me being able to let go of amazing things that God has bought us, right? In material wise and comfort wise and beautiful things that are healing within their own right, but to put me in a better space of my own soul's personal journey about what is fucking important, right? Because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. right? And universe takes care of everything if you're doing the right thing from love. The right thing meaning the best thing from love for you and all. And you'll know what that is by how it feels in your heart. So you're going to be fine. Universe is going to take care of you. You will find a house. It behooves us all to do work on this stuff because this is these times. And the more we do this work, the closer you bring it to you in Earth world, okay? In other words, you can speed this up time-wise, okay? Okay, so I'm going to ask God to, for all of us to release this energy now, please, from love in the purest form, and put the best way to be from love in place of this, in the purest form, in this reality, any reality and all that is. Release it emotionally, clear, heal, and change all of this, and let us be free of this in all that it is. Thank you, God, for these gifts in our souls, and all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is for everybody who comes on this show, who wants this gifts, right? So I put this out there. This energy goes out to you. Your soul grabs it and utilizes it in the best way from love if you so choose. So I don't make you do anything. Your soul does what it's going to do, whatever and whenever it wants and however it wants from love. So, but I'm sending you this energy, and this energy is designed to remove that from you, and that's what it will do if you want it. So what do I tell my people? Everybody out here say, thank you, God, for that for me, or thank you, love, for that for me, and want it in your heart. You don't have to say it. It doesn't matter to me. Just feel it in your heart, right? Like I'm walking everywhere and talking everywhere I go, because I'm a constant teacher. It's just what I do, and I'm guided to do, because I'm not shy at all. Not at this point in my life, right? So I'm always just out there saying shit, whatever I feel, guided by higher knowing, right? And I'm comfortable with that. But there are sometimes when I pray on shit and I don't have to say it out loud, because I may want somebody in the room to leave, and I know that we're going to have a problem if I ask them to leave. So I will ask love to be free of them, and they will literally, their phone will ring and they'll leave, so that I don't have to go down that toxic route with them, because this is all parts and ways of explaining how we have all the power here. So thank you for these gifts for Anne and all of us now, please, from love in the purest form. And thank you, God, for that for us. All right, so go ahead. Who else we got? Who else has questions?
Teresa Courtney Lloyd is also asking for a $5. She's asking if there's anything that the universe feels she needs to do, or if the universe has any encouragement. She is feeling spiritually stagnant at this point.
Yeah, that's the issue with the end of the year, Teresa. And thanks for being a diehard fan. I love you, girl. And to all you guys, thanks for supporting us and coming on our show and sharing our stuff. Thank you. And being part of it and being part of this new world. So what comes in for you really with this energy at the end of the year for all of us, this is the end of the year, right? It's designed to have a beautiful holiday season, and it's almost ironic sometimes that it's so fucking stressful with all the crap that we have to go through. There's a lot of death and dying around the holidays. And that's a general thing around Earth world. I'm sure most of us have already had people who have passed away or at some point in our lives during the holidays. Have you guys all? Yeah. And so that kind of it's one of those things that's kind of in the law of universe and Saturn's Earth world energy, and metaphysically with all that is God, right? In the law of universe. So just like there's a certain amount of times your soul can choose to cross over, but higher vibrational souls have even more. But there's a general rule and number of that. And as a general rule, universe tells me it's usually 6. Number 6 comes in all the time, and it's like a humanitarian kind of thing. Let's see though. But going back to you asking me this, so the end of the year is like a slow moving time of year. It's wrapping up all the stuff from the past that needs to be finished, completed, ended, right? That's the same reason why with Anne and me it's so hard to find a house right now, right? Or a space to rent. On top of the other crap that's all going on a collective measure with government and everything else, the real estate market and all of that stuff that's going on that's making people freak out. And that's another thing. People are freaking out. They're not spending what they spent. They're not leaving their properties. They're not, if they're selling selling. They're selling for a large amount of money to make a dollar, but for the most part, and most people can't afford homes, right? As the general public and population. Why? Because it's gone through the roof, the real estate market in a lot of different places. But all of this is all part of the grand design of toxic, right? And there's always going to be toxic in the world as long as we're not in our hearts and don't come from love and work to these spaces or work with God in love. So, but the end of the year as a general rule is designed to, with the holidays, have a nice time with family, wrap it up, see what you have to finish throughout. The traditional, universe tells me the traditional year ends and starts really like February 1st. Now it can go beyond that. You can carry stuff over depending on what needs to be finished and completed. But as a general year, as a general rule, it's about wrapping up the end of what needs to be completed for this year, right? So that's kind of what's happening. It's kind of slow seasonal thing. It's like kind of like the energy that comes in is ho-hum. Right? Because Christmas time, you're here to relax and spend time with your family and enjoy those times. And it's kind of like this vortex we're in. It's like a holiday vortex that we all gotta go through. So it's not like you can you could invest in new businesses if it's a holiday business and things like that, but really that's not what this time is designed for. There's exceptions to every rule, but this time is designed for you to spend time with family, reevaluate the great things, be grateful, spend time with people you love. That's what the holidays are for, right? People, you can say they're religious, and a lot of people go with the religious stuff or the whatever spiritual stuff you celebrate. That's fine, right? But ultimately, what we're talking about here is love, giving, love, being grateful for everything great and wonderful that we have. It's not unlike an honoring of God or love to anybody who celebrates holidays, and for whatever holidays they are. It's about being grateful for what we have, and almost like an honoring ceremony, so to speak, is what universe tells me. Where you have a beautiful time with your family, you appreciate the people that you love, you appreciate your good health, you appreciate the beautiful things that you have, right? Whatever they are, and whatever space of God that you're in, right? And it's not about religion is just ways to help you and guide you and assist you into these spaces, right? But the truth is, everything is about love, and this is just part of the cyclic cycles of law of universe and Saturn's Earth world with the holiday season and how things work. You got to get through New Year's and Christmas, and there's like the same fucking stagnant energy every year. But this year and last year was particularly bizarre Christmas. It's lost its Taurian or Taurus sentimentality or sensualness as well. It's lost that. It's lost that, kind of beautiful holiday feel, like when you're a little kid and you look out the window, you know what I mean? And you see it snow and you get all excited, right? It's kind of lost some of that. So, and this is because of all the fear and all the crap, people are afraid. They don't want to spend their money. It's not the same at all. I just look at the business receipts for my business and I'm like, holy fuck. People come in, they leave. They don't buy anything. We're not spending much this year. We're not spending anything. We're spending 5 cents. We're spending $5. We're not spending, right? And that's all because of all the fear and all the crap that's going on out here for the past 2 years with everything that's going on. They are trying to destroy small businesses. This is what's going on. It's the God's honest truth, right? So every day I wake up and I go, okay, God, shall we stay in business? Are we going to keep on doing this? Or what should we do? And instantly they say to me, yep. Right? And no matter what happens, it's like it's been yep. So there you go. But if I'm attached to it and I'm toxic with it and it has to be a certain way, well, why aren't these people here and buying stuff from me and da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and I get all wild with it, then it's more likely to fail, right? But if God tells me or universe tells me or my heart guides me to that, I'm still supposed to be open, right? And all because it's like this right now doesn't mean that I don't have a whole clientele of people, and what's coming in the future, universe already knows, and I just trust universe or God that they're taking care of everything. And it may be that a distant aunt or somebody passes away and leaves me some money, or I win the lottery, or some magical donation comes in, right? It could be anything from anywhere, but I cannot worry about it, right? Because worry just creates more worry, and it creates the very fucking things that I don't want to happen, right? Scares the shit out of us, right? When we start to worry and we start to freak out, right? So, we can't be afraid in these new times. We have to release our fears, and this is all what this is about. Because when we fear this, then that allows them to control us, right? But if we work with love and we create to not be afraid, and we ask God for everything, from love, right? Universe will bring us everything we need. And even though I don't really have a house right now in our traditional Earth world way that I would have imagined, right? We still got a Christmas tree. We still got some lights up. We still have money for gifts. We're still super blessed, right? In so many different ways, right? So it's all about your perspective, right? Excuse me a minute. I'm just going to grab me a tissue. Thank you. All right. My new tissue box, right? It needs to be where I can reach it. So, okay. So, anyways, excuse me. Runny nose. Thank you, God, for me being free of that now, please, from love in the purest form. Okay. In this reality, any reality, and all that is, and clear, heal, and change this now in the best way for me and all, or something better. And thank you, God, for that from me. Okay. So we were going in so many different directions, guided by spirit, with fear and clearing out our fears and being grateful. And all of this is designed, and why I'm talking about this, while many people might think, oh, you're just going crazy and just going off on all these different directions. It's all really designed by God for these times of what we need to do, what is best from love before I even come in here, right? So this is all part of your reading as well, Teresa, because this is what you need to know for the future. This is what we all need to know for the future, because we're all part of the same collective, to release fears, and that we're totally fine, we're totally taken care of. There's nothing really that you can really know, but the biggest thing is let go and let God. All right. So if universe tells you to do something, you don't got to know 16,000 ways of how it's going to work, or that it is going to work. You don't have to worry about it. Trust love, trust God, trust universe, because all of this is part of the design of where we need to be for what is coming, for our best selves, our best journey, our best dreams, and the best new world into the future. So this is all part of that preparation for all of us. Okay. All right. Anything else for Teresa? They're telling me just have a good fucking time and quit fucking worrying about shit, girl. That's what they're telling me. All right. So go ahead. Who's next?
Charmaine is next. She's asking, she sent a bunch of her astrology stuff, if you want me to ramble it off to you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. She said she's a Scorpio with
Can you
sun.
speak up real loud? Because
Yeah.
I've had some people say they can't really hear, and I want to make sure that they can hear. Thank you.
She's a Scorpio, Sun ascending, Moon in Leo in the 9th house, Venus in Sagittarius. With the full moon tonight, what do you see for her till the end of the year?
Whoa. All right. So slow down. Give me the first couple placements.
Scorpio, Sun. She said, I'm a Scorpio with a Sun ascending. So I don't know if that's a Leo ascendant or her Scorpio is also her ascendant.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm understanding that.
Mm-hmm.
What's her birth date? Tell me what that is. Does she have her birth date there?
No, but I can tell you when she writes it in.
Okay.
She's a Moon in Leo
Okay.
in the 9th house.
Okay, so she has Moon and Leo in the 9th house, and that's about passion. That's about travel. The 9th house is about higher knowing. So your Moon and Leo. So your Moon is going to bring in some new travel, for most likely long distance travel. The full moon is going to set you on your new destiny. It's going to fill your life, i.e. full moon, right? Full, right? It's going to fill your life with your new destiny. The moon cycles go with, everything from clearing to healing to creating to our wellnesses, to our sicknesses, to our mental illness, because everything, emotion is the fuel through the moon signs that governs everything really and creates everything. It's your heart self, right? Your highest heart self. It's your all the emotions in your soul, whether they're toxic or positive and healthy and well, and anything that's fueled from these spaces, right? That is in you is going to govern your destiny. So when the moon is full, what they're telling me is it's filling you up. So it's going to fill you up and send you on your new destiny. When you are a Scorpio, you get to the bottom of the truth. That's why you're such a profound healer. You really are, Charmaine. You're especially a profound healer of the self, right? You've gone such a long journey, really, of healing you. So I do feel like there's more things things that you're going to get to the bottom of, more exploring, more spiritual stuff coming in, like travel, learning, different education, higher knowing. With the new moon, I also feel like, yeah, I feel like travel is going to be a big key here. But I don't, what they're telling me is I don't feel like it's until June of 2022. Is next year 2022?
Yeah.
Yeah, June of 2022. So, that definitely comes in for you with the Sag energy, she said, and your moon stuff. So all your life, whether you realize it, you've probably traveled and been about long distance travel or liked vacations, but usually later in life is when you will really, especially now that you've had already, I feel like you've already gone through your natal moon return. I feel like you may be going through your second Saturn return. And you may have already gone through that, but I feel like the residuals of these energies are still fluctuating through your soul, and still influencing your life and you. I also feel there's something that has to do with your old house coming back, some kind of stuff with having to do with your old house. Maybe you know what this is about, either things that need to get settled, but from your old house and with your old house. There's something coming in for that. And let me just see, related to that. Also, what else was she? She said Scorpio. What was her birthday?
Her birthday was November 6th, 1955.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so she's past these things, but I feel like this energy is really totally still resonating in her. So she's kind of, it's almost like you're waking up. I want to look at your chart more to see where in the areas you're waking up in, because I feel like there's a whole new beginning here coming in. Again, new destinies, right? I do feel it's going to have to go with world travel and healing. That comes in. What other placements did she have, right? With these placements, since you were asking specifically about this, go ahead.
Moon in Leo, which is in the 9th house, and then Venus in Sagittarius.
Okay, Venus in Sag lends itself to freedom. All right, so there may be created some challenges in relationships and your personal freedom, freedom in relationships, the need to be free, because as soon as you start to have that Libra and Sag, you yourself can have some player energy that you might want to clear and heal and change, even though, you may have a lot of other energies going on that will kind of like subdue that, or it will manifest in a different way, which then would be like freedom within the relationship, right? You can't be shut down, you can't be controlled, you have to do your own thing, he has to do his own thing, and this can create some challenges, right? It's funny because it's no accident that you're asking me about these placements in the chart, because these are the areas your subconscious moon sign soul is picking up, that these areas are where you're going to have some challenges into the future. So when you say this to me, this is coming in from spirit, and this is why you said these particular placements. So what behooves you to do to help you get through this and make this the best experience is, already what you do, what we do here, right? So you, of course, always, like we say, you pray on everything, you talk to God, you create what you want to do, right? And you don't have to do it my way, you do it in whatever way is best for you from love. That works, right? From love in the healthiest, best way, right? For you. Also, let me just see. So these placements here, I would look them all up. Right? I would research them, and I wouldn't just look at one to see what's going on behind the scenes, like Sun and Scorpio, and I would read about all of that. I would clear all that, the things that don't behoove me, right? I would also look for the moon in the 9th house as well, right? So in the core of your soul, you're all about freedom. So you're about freedom for this country as well, right? You're really about freedom, right? You are, in fact, this tells me that you're one of the original patriots as well. There are certain signs, right? This is like to give you an idea, our shopping center is was in Yorktown Commerce Center in Virginia Beach. Well, duh, Yorktown is like, isn't that where it all began, right? Yorktown, right? Virginia. So, these things and placements in your chart will tell you about your past life and your history. So if you have really prominent placements of freedom in your chart, such as Sag and Uranus and a combo of those, right? As well as like Leo placements too, where you live your passion, right? Leo or the sun, right? You said the sun you were talking a little bit about, right? Passion, what you have a passion for, freedom, a passion for freedom, a passion for life, right? So these things tell me this about you literally in your chart, about past lifetimes. But I would also like look into all these different placements, especially the ones that you brought up here today, or Rachel said through your chart. Like you said, here's my chart. What can you tell me from these placements with the moon, right? There's more to it, but Rachel picked out, or you and Rachel picked out a bunch of them. And so boom, 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 boom. Those are the ones that are coming to, as you're going to dump your relationship crap, like we talked about in the beginning of this video. But those are the ones that are coming in for you to do your best healing work on right now in the now for this time. Okay, so I wouldn't just look up one, I'd look up a bunch of placements of Sun and Pluto by different astrologists, different astrology sites, right? And I would look up the other things too, you know, Moon in Sag, Moon in the 9th house, right? And then look up other things that are all around there, because these are just bits and pieces in the parts of all that are you. But these are the reason these were brought up in our Earth world reality, because the Earth world is the now. Those are the things that we have to address right now, right? So this is why this came in, so you can take a look at all this, because it will prevent or create the challenges that are coming to be easier if you remove the toxics from them by getting rid of the habits and patterns and embracing the benefits and the blessings of these things in your soul and in your chart. Do you see what I'm saying? So you can do this work yourself. You can always work with me again, you know. But you can do it yourself, girl. You're a super powerful healer. I feel like that's a new destiny you're going to be going on. But there's also some straightening out of your relationships in your life. And that's that Sag thing. Where in your life are you not being free or needing to exert or really go on a freedom journey for you? I do feel like there's a possibility, and you might want to punch me out with this. There's a possibility of you traveling and meeting a new partner somewhere else in the world. That's that Sag stuff, yeah. And starting a whole new life there, and going on a new healing journey in a new world with a new partner. And I know you probably think I'm nuts. However, this does come in for you as one of the possibilities. So exciting times, right? And it's crazy because so much of the shit we would never, ever, ever think of, like me thinking, oh, I kind of don't have a house right now, right? Right? I would never like fucking create that on a conscience level, you know, on a conscious level, right? You know, and not really if I could help it in the space of God that I'm in, and you know, and the way everything went down, right? But it was something that had to happen for the best well-being of my soul. And when we don't get it in Earth world, boom, universe brings it right to us, because that's how it works. If we don't take action in Earth world, it's part of the grand design of why Earth world is so magnificent, right? Because it helps us to physically, all right, that's Saturn, get past our barriers that we haven't gotten past for lifetimes, because we're super magical. And with magic, right, we can do anything. Just like I can remove somebody from the room if I don't want them here, right? I can ask God to be free of them, but it's not to be mean to them. It's because they might be toxic for my class, or they may be you know, toxic for me, or maybe they're sick, or something horrible happened, you know, mentally sick or whatever. You know, it could be anything. But if I ask God to be free of someone, it's not coming from a malicious space. It's coming from a space of self-love for me. But I'm not just going to ignore it and ask God to be free of it. I'm going to say, okay, why did I feel that way? What's the God's honest truth? And I'm going to explore that in me, so that I make sure that I clear the things, heal the things, change the things that don't work for me, and cause this to happen here right now in my reality. So these placements are super powerful for things coming for you, as well as things to clear in your chart. And that's why they're coming in right here in the now for you. Okay. So, and you got some guidances. Where is this going? Don't be surprised if the shit that you literally read comes out as all the things that I said. Okay. All right. So go ahead.
Ashley DeWeese is wondering if anything comes through for her.
Hi, Ashley. Thanks for coming. Okay, so let me just see here. I'm going to light some sage a minute. Interesting enough, does she have her birthday on there? Can you ask her for her birthday? Please. Thank you. And also, what time is it? I want to see where we are because I want to make sure we cover things we need to cover too. All right. All right. So, God, what's the God's honest truth for Ashley? What's the best gifts, tools, things that we can help her? It's wild because they're like yelling at me. Horses, 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 and more horses. All right. So I'm assuming you know what that's about. I think we've talked in the past in reference to this in some way, shape, or form. But this is what's coming in for you, right now. Sag is horse energy as well. How it carries horse energy with it. What else? I also feel there's a new career for you of your own home business. And it has to do with horses, and it might not necessarily, it doesn't come in as necessarily being in the way that you think, but it also comes in as having many placements and many things with this. Let me see what else. Thanks, God. Like you would have your own home business. I feel like it's a new entrepreneurial career, and I feel like it has something strangely to do with horses, and I don't think it's so strange, right? But I feel like there's a lot of things going on with this. And it's kind of like, I feel like you're going to be working together with your partner with this. A whole new business in a whole new way. It's kind of like you're going to be expanding what you guys already do and into the future. I almost feel like there's some healthcare products, but there's also, I feel like there's tools like behavioral tools to help people with horses that are out of the box, totally channeled, totally gifted, that nobody else really has or knows about. And I feel like you guys are going to go on this path into the New Year's and start even a better, already great business that you guys already have going, and you guys support each other, and this is coming in for the future for you.
She's on her birthday. She got her birthday.
Okay, what is it?
September 9th, 1981.
Yeah, and that makes sense too. September 9th, 1981. And, that puts you in with Virgo energy. Virgo is healer energy. They are super powerful healers. They're also the perfectionists, right? They're another variation of perfectionist in astrology. So you guys are really going to perfect this market, and it's going to take off if you really put your heart in it. And that's what's coming for the new world for you. And you said November, right? Yeah. Interesting enough, when they started singing this song to me by Guns N' Roses, November Rain. So there's some kind of connection to that for you. Oh, and this is because they want me to talk about the music thing that we posted on Facebook. There's some kind of massive healing in that. So they're telling me to tell you to listen to that. I know this is going to sound crazy, about 5 times in your car for massive release and healing emotionally. Take a look at that, right? I would do it and ask God to be free of these things and do this in the best way and put the best way to be in place of this from love.
She said her husband sings that all the time.
There you go. And that's another reason why it comes in for you. Yep. That's wicked cool, huh? Okay, so let me know the products and the things that you do. I just love to see what people are doing, and if we can help each other in any way, as always, that's what we do. That's what we do from love. Okay, so go ahead. Who's next? We'll do one more, and then I'm going to talk more about this healing stuff. Pretty neat, huh?
Jen Lloyd is next. She is asking if there's anything else we need to clear up with the visa process. She says that you know the story.
The biggest thing that comes in, Jen Lloyd, is sit back and wait for it. Ask for what you want. Clear your blocks to it. And let go and let God, but don't focus on it. I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a long haul. I feel like there's something going on with your husband energetically that's stopping this process. Some kind of stuff going on with him. I feel like it behooves you maybe to have a sit down talk. And not a mean, it's not a mean thing. It's like, hey, how are you feeling about this? Where do we want to go with this? This isn't happening, and do you want this? Or, you know what I mean? Just ask love to speak through you. That's the best way to do it. And ask love to get to the bottom of it. Ask love to change it, and put out there what you want. But there's some kind of thing in him, an energy that needs to go to make this happen. And it's so crazy, right? As an energy healer, work on that, right? But this also comes in is you guys getting to a higher space of love through communication. And this needs to happen for the new world that we're going in, and for you to keep this relationship, for you both to be in this relationship in the healthiest, best way from love. So it behooves you to go to this place and do this work. It's kind of like I had a couple in the past that were trying to sell their house, and one person didn't want to sell it. And it's the same thing, like one person wants a baby and the other person doesn't, but one person isn't telling the truth really, or isn't even sure if they really want the baby. But as long as it's a joint endeavor and one person kind of wants it and the other person doesn't, it puts a block and it can manifest in different ways, of course, always, but it stops the energy, or it creates delays, it creates challenges. It's kind of like in our own lives when people come to me and they're like, well, I don't know what I want to do with my life, right? And they're like, I just don't know. And they're like, I feel like I'm doing nothing, and it's been years of doing nothing. Well, you have to get clear on what you want, right? Like my daughters went out shopping the other day and they bought this amazing book, right? And it was like, I can't really say what it is, but it was like a questionnaire kind of thing, right? I was gonna about blurt it out, right? But because there's people in the audience, like my kids, they won't want me to do that, right? Because it might be a gift for somebody, right? So the bottom line is they bought this book. It had questions in it, and the questions, I thought what came in from Spirit was helps people to be clear on who they are and what they want. Because when we're not clear, we're like a tire, like a truck that's stuck in mud, and it spins over and over and over. And when we have joint endeavors with people and they're not really in it, or they're secretly toxic, or they're unwell in some way, shape, or form, and they don't want the same things as we want authentically from love, this fucks up the whole train. In other words, it stops it from going, right? I had this one woman from North Carolina years ago, wanted to sell her house, but the husband wasn't really into it, but he wasn't being direct with it. And she was like, we can't sell the house. I said, you need to sit down with him and ask him why, what's going on? Why does he want to sell the house, right? What is going on, right? So, and then we did all this clearing work with me and her and him and on all of this. And within a day, she sold her fucking house, got all the money. We created what she wanted to happen. But you got to get rid of those things that are stopping that. And when you have joint endeavors, and this goes for business partnerships too. This is why people say to me, oh, I'm going to go into business with these 5 people. I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Right? I'm like, are you kidding me? Right? You better be damn sure that these 5 people are in alignment with you. And the odds of that happening are very, very slim. It would be a very rare thing because there's so much to work out from love, and there's going to be challenges. As long as there's human beings and egos and they're not in their heart spaces, there's going to be massive challenges. So this comes in for you to look into it. Ask love to speak through you. Ask love to handle it. Ask love to get to the emotional bottom of what's going on here, what he truly wants. Do you want the visas? What's happening here? Because this is everything to do with him. All right. But also, take a look at you and see where you might have things that you might not be aware of that is also causing this. All right. Okay. So I'm going to put on hold for right now. Was that the only question she had?
Yes.
I'm going to put the answering questions on hold, and if we don't get to you with the end of our time here today, or by the end of our time, I'm going to ask God or love that we get to you by next week as well, okay? And what I wanted to talk about is how the astrology of all of us and the music placements and healing with music, as well as, everyone, a lot of people who are healers know already about like vibrational alchemy, right? And sound bowls and, music heals, right? We all know this, right? But one of the things that we can all do that comes in and has been coming in with doing the healing work that I do, with some of the energy sessions that I do, right? And this is pretty wild. Guided by the stars, right? And these times, in other words, guided by your astrology, the transits and what's going on with you, right? To pull out emotional stuff from your childhood. Go and sit there and listen. Put a whole playlist in from the time that you were born to the first 10 years, then do the second 10 years of the music, so you can release these things, these energies of emotional shit in you, or emotional stuff, blocks, habits, patterns, energies, right? You can release this from that time frame during these times of emotional stuff from your childhood, all right? And this goes in with your transit chart and these times for the new world and the new planet, right? In present day now. So like if I have a client that's born in 1997, I'm going to do 1997 to 2007 and 2007 to 2017. And these are ways that you can release stuff energetically in you through the music, which is really wicked cool, right? Through the music. And what it does is, just like you may see a segment in a movie, just like with what I do here, right? Teaching love, teaching God, teaching all about energy, right? You may see a segment in a movie, like my associate Rachel here was sitting here saying she saw something that reminded her of her like second grade teacher who did something toxic, right? And every time she sees that movie, she's reminded of that, right? So ask love to release it. All these things are tools to help us to release these things, right? So the music, like if you were to sit in your room or in a nice quiet space and do some spiritual work, prayer work, right? Ask love to be free of this, right? This childhood emotional stuff that no longer serves you, right? And to release it in the healthiest, best way and put the best way to be, you will connect in the same way to the music, right? So if you had like some songs, you'll find, oh my God, they make you cry and cry and cry. You got to say to yourself, why am I crying, right? Like one of the things that came up the other day for us with my daughter, with one of my daughter, Madeline, her name is Madeline, and she said to me, Mom, she said, the song that you played today, and it made me cry because it was Elton John's song. It was an Elton John. It was sorry. I think it's sorry seems to be the hardest word, right? And so my birthday was in 1966. So 1966 to 1976 to 1986, right? Those are some times to really get out childhood, energetic, emotional trauma and crap that we hold on to, right? And what it talks about is, what do I got to do to make you love me, right? So this is about me as a kid, right? Being in a self-love deficit and wanting love and not getting that love that I need so desperately from my parents, or the nurturing that I need, right? Because it says, what do I got to do to make you love me? What do I got to do to be heard, right? So these are things that end up in energies in our physical bodies, which is crazy shit, right? And you can release them through this, and you will know that if you're doing this, ask love for these things. Ask love, do some sage, put some lavender oil on, put some transformation, Young Living essential oil, right? Put these things on, sit there for half an hour, 45 minutes, right? Whatever you feel is enough time for you. Do a playlist from this time. Ask God, ask love for the best songs for you, right? To get it out of you, release it from you. Because what happens is that song triggered me to cry like 3 or 4 times the other day, right? Over and over. I'm like, blah, 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 right? Because I'm releasing this energy from me, right? I'm releasing all the energy in my physical body that, is that buried emotional crap that I stomped down, and many earth signs will do that, and we've talked about this, right? So in our last video, and we'll talk more in depth too as we keep going and learning with universe, or God or love. So what it behooves us to do, so we can work on ourselves as well, is to do this, right? Pick out those songs. Ask love for the best songs to heal you from your childhood, from this time. And a lot of times what you'll do is you can also just hit it on YouTube, songs from 1997 to 2017, or do you see what I'm saying? And then they'll put up a whole playlist, right? Or you can even do playlists on your what do you call that thing that you guys always use out there, you young people?
Spotify?
Yeah, the Spotify stuff, right? So you can do that as well, right? And this is why also you'll hit a song, you'll play it over and over and over again because you're getting an emotional release and a spiritual release as well to get those energies out of your body. But if you pray on it and you make it even more active, you burn a little sage, clear the energy, put your lavender on, right? You can make this an incredible healing session for you, right? So, and this is all part of some of the work that we do here, right? But you can do this yourself at home as well. It's pretty cool shit, right? So, and if you follow, excuse me, and are guided by your transit chart. Now, this is where it gets more in depth, right? With the astrology work that we do in incorporating everything that is God, right, into these gifts, not only just for the work that I do, but if you follow astrology and you want to do, you can look in the transits and it will guide you to places of release. What do? You ask God to know which placements. You ask God to know how to do this. You ask love so that you can do this, right? Anything I can do, you can do, right? But this will set you in a way to start healing stuff that is in your body on an energetic, emotional level that we bury in ourselves. And when I say in our body, it can be in our physical body, it can be in our spiritual body, it can be in our aura, it can be anywhere in us. Everything is energy, right? So this is a great thing that universe obviously has guided me to share with you guys so that you can take some and do some healing, right, during these times on yourselves. And it's really fucking wicked cool, right? Working with the chart, working with these things. But in the meantime, you can do these placements for you, right? Take the time you were born, do the first 10 years, do the first 5 years, right? You will find, just like when you find a song that really hits your heart because it's healing, it's releasing in you, right? Like my one daughter, both of my daughters can sing and they sing fantastically, right? But my oldest daughter, who I was aware of, was able to sing for a longer period of time. Like my other daughter is Cancerian and she's like a little crab and hides things from me all the time, right? They both hide things in different ways, but the bottom line is they're both really amazingly gifted vocally, right? But when my kid was younger and she used to sing and she used to be in her heart space and she would just belt it out, right? Super fucking healing, and I would cry, and I couldn't stop crying because it's a release, right? So everything is energy. Music is an amazing healing tool. It's with the arts, whether you're drawing, painting, dancing, singing, acting, right? Playing an instrument, right? Everything is healing, right? So this is why I'm being guided to tell you this, because we can release all this emotional stuff ourselves if we so choose, right? So it's really cool shit, right? Because if nobody else tells us, then we don't know, right? So you can take those songs, because anything that you attach to that energy from your childhood on a subconscious and conscious soul level, right, that you're not even aware of is going on in you. You play that music and all of a sudden you're like, this song makes me cry, or I feel like I need to listen to that song, or I need to listen to this. Ask your heart, ask your soul, just like you pick tarot deck cards. Write it on a piece of paper, fold it up, right, and pick 5 songs from that era. And those are the ones that your subconscious soul needs the most massive healing for, if you so ask for that. So you can do it without having to get your conscious, so to speak, involved in this. Does this make sense to everybody? Yeah, neat shit, right? Yeah. So, Mark, you can now do your own healing session.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right? Yeah. And so, it's just cool shit that they want me to share with you tonight. So how much time we got?
It's 8:50.
Okay, so we got about 10 more minutes. I think there was a couple other things. In the last 10 minutes, I might take 1 or 2 questions afterwards, but I also want to talk about something else here tonight. One more thing. I had so many other things that I was going to do, right? And we'll get to it. I had so many things. Okay, God, so let me get to them. Into the future from love, and let us all be happy from love. Okay, so tonight what I wanted to talk about is into the future as everything's changing. My sister Jennifer, there's things called, has been doing, is a really amazing artist. What do you call it? There's a word, is it textile?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could call her a textile artist, right? So she sews and makes beautiful, beautiful things, right? I'm not familiar with the term, so I have to make sure I ask Jennifer and get it right. okay, because I want to honor her, right? So tonight on the show, what came in, or tonight, is Jennifer has made these beautiful pillows, and they're called memory pillows. And what they are is they are ways to preserve the energy and the feelings and help for healing in our highest heart selves. And in all that we are, when people that we love have crossed over. So I don't know, do you want to explain, or what you do? She's going, no. All right, so I'm going to explain, right? So we have a few of these pillows that Jennifer has made for one of her clients that we want to share with you because they're absolutely amazing. So when we have people who cross over, what they're made out of is their clothes, right? Their shirts, possibly their pants, or a special blanket they have, right? So Jennifer takes those and makes beautiful, beautiful art for healing, right? Not only for herself, but for the people whose pillows they are. Fascinating shit, right? So tonight, before we close down for today, for our show for tonight, I wanted to bring you these pillows and share them. So I asked Jennifer to grab them and bring them here because they're really amazing. She made 3 for a client of hers, and they're so beautiful. They're just so amazing. And so I wanted to share them with you because they're super healing for people. All right, so here's one of them. All right, I don't know if you can see it. She totally made this out of a shirt that the client supplied, right? And you can see, I don't know if you can see it here. It's absolutely gorgeous. So it's like a shirt pillow, which is really super cool. And it has and it's the father's shirt, right? And he has since passed away, and they wanted these gifts to give to their family members, which is a dynamite gift, right? Because it's going to help everybody heal. I don't want to cry. Okay, so this is one of those amazing pillows that she made, and I have a couple more. I think this one is like my favorite. As you can see, the gentleman who passed away was like really sassy, wore these fucking awesome shirts, right? And he was really, really a neat guy too, right? So here's the back. I'm going to try to turn it around so you can really see it. It's wicked, wicked cool shit. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Jennifer, and this is art. Art is healing, just like we just said, with music and singing, This is totally art. You can see it. So Jennifer makes these. We have them, you can contact Jennifer at our shopping center. I was going to say we have them at our shopping center. We do right now, but this is something that really is a custom order, a custom thing. And here's another one. Here's another one. This gentleman, this is all 3, I don't know if you can see it, of his beautiful shirts that he had, right, that he would wear, right? And she made them all into pillows, and these are gifts for the family members, which is great. And these are something you can do year round. God, God forbid nobody wants anybody to pass away, but they're excellent, excellent gifts for healing. So I wanted to share that with you tonight because my sister Jennifer is an amazing artist in her own way and a really amazing being, and I just wanted to share her stuff. So without crying, I'm going to move on. Yeah, she does beautiful work, and I wanted to share that with you because I know that when my father passed away, and I'm going to ask Jennifer to make some for me because at the time she wasn't doing this, and these are things that I think that I would like for myself and for my children as well, to get a handle, to have more something in Earth World that could show them who their grandfather was as well, not just for crossing over and healing, but to give the family members an idea. This was a pillow made from a shirt your grandfather used to wear, and he was so happy when you were here, and you might not remember him from when you were a baby, but this will help you get in touch with his energy in Earth World. How cool is this shit, right? Everything's gifts for our healing, for our journeys, right? And they're great for your families as well and for yourself. So I just wanted to share that with everybody, right? And let's see, I think that's pretty much it. I think I covered a little bit about Christmas and the holidays. There's also a YouTube that I talk about Christmas and the holidays. I think it's my most watched YouTube, where it talks about some really amazing stuff about the holidays. You guys might want to watch that. Let me see. The reruns or replays of our show tonight, they are on YouTube, my YouTube channel, which is Practical Spirituality Live, but it's under Lynn Rene MacDonald, just like our live talk forum here. it is under that, and you can tune in and subscribe anytime you want, so you can see these shows. Anything you missed, if you can't sit through the whole thing because you're busy, because you're a mom or a parent, you got to work, because I know 2 hours is a long time, but you will learn so much from spirit guided through us, right? And also, you can also catch the things that you miss, right? From shows that you didn't get to see. But also before this, there's a whole bunch of videos from the old world, right, of segments to teach you how to come from love, how to do the prayer work, all the gifts and tools that I teach here as well, just in a different way. So there's 200, and I think there's like 250 videos for you guys, right? So there would be really great for you to watch. If you can subscribe and keep it going and share our stuff and share this, that would be great as well. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so what else we got? We're going to do a few more questions, and then we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Thanks for your time. Anybody can donate via Venmo and PayPal. Also, you can also give energetically. I know these times are crazy. People aren't wanting to spend money because they're afraid of the banks collapsing and what's going to happen, and what if this happens, and what if I don't have enough money or enough food. It's just, our crazy fears and anxieties are going nuts with this Uranus energy, right? So if you can't donate in finances or money, then please share our stuff. Tell people about us. Anybody that you feel in your heart is, in alignment with this. If you feel it, follow your heart and share it. Okay? Thanks so much. All right, so go ahead. What are our last few questions for tonight?
Tamika Wright wrote in that she feels like she is often from the wrong era, like she is from an earlier era. How can she honor that energy?
Hi, Tamika. All right. You would honor that energy through the clothes that you wear. A really good example is Taylor Swift, right? She wears that red lipstick. If you look at her hair, it's like from the 1930s. She's almost like, and even the outfits that she wears, she carries this 1930s, like almost like piano bar kind of energy, nightclub energy with her energy. And you will see this 1930s girl with the hair, even in her videos, that one song, Say You Remember Me. I think is that it? Is it Say You Remember Me? I mean, that song kind of shows you this about her, right? In the energy of the video, right? As well as the song, So I'm telling you about this because you also see this energy in people that you see every day in your everyday life, right? So when I say that, let me just see if I can find some other energies that go with this. Thank you, God, for that for us. And now, please, because it's any time era that you might feel and connect with, right? There's other people, that bright red lipstick, right? That hairstyle, the flapper dresses, right? This is that same energy from the 1930s. I do feel like this is a 1920s energy that comes in for you, Tamika. Even, I feel like it was like right before the 30s. So, ask universe to connect and start looking and finding things that like clothing, jewelry, things that will connect you with that energy of these times, right? Or of this time and era that's in your soul to pull out these gifts, right? So you can do that as well. But I'm using Taylor Swift as a way to show you guys how this energy manifests, right? And I'm not necessarily even sure that she consciously realizes it, right? Now she may, right? Like to give you an example of what I'm talking about, right? So ask love, ask God to connect with this energy. Ask love for the best places to find these items, right? I would also, they're telling me to look in secondhand shops and thrift shops and military shops and antique places, right? Antique malls. All of these places are places where you're going to find this energy, right, that you can tap into in the actual physical items and help you honor that and bring that out in you, as well as those gifts, and will also be awesomely helpful for healing, just like the pillows we talked about, right? Also, like to give you an idea, right, I have this stuff that's my necklaces, and they're all tied in a big knot ball here, but to show you, right, I have these 2 silver coins, right, or silver pendants, right? One of them, and this is to show you how to honor the energy, right? I have a Capricorn moon, right? So I found this sterling silver pendant, right? And it has the sea goat, right? He's called the sea goat. This is the old symbol for Capricorn, right? So the sea goat, I wear this to help me tap into my moon gifts, right? To balance that moon energy, that Capricorn moon. It's really cool. It's sterling silver. And so this brings me and opens up and helps to open up that energy in me. I always have it with me, but these are tools that you can use where you bridge metaphysical with earth world, right? These are tools that you can use and do that, right? So that you can bring out these gifts and they help and assist you. I tell people all the time, they don't necessarily do it for you. The energy is always in you and you govern that because you are the power of everything that is you, okay? But you can use tools in earth world just like you use for healing, right? Just like you use for healing. Like the other thing you can do, Mark, that comes in too is do you know Lucky's birthday? Let's get a hold of Lucky's chart for healing too. Okay? Yeah. Where we can do some metaphysical work on Lucky and help Lucky to be healthy in that way as well. Because you want complete health, right? Yeah, and good things for Lucky, right? Okay, so that said, I also have this other pendant, which is a Christ silver pendant. This helps me tap in to Christ energies, right? This is an ancient, an old coin that I wear. You can see it. All right, this helps me tap into high-end Christ energy. It's really old, right? You can see the symbols on there. Right? And I wear that with my necklace, right? And then here I have on this little pendant, is this it? Is this my Israel? I think this might be, no, here he is. Okay, I also have a lion pendant, helps me tap into my lion gifts, that Christ energy again, as well as Leo energy. But like here I have an Israeli lion, right? This is an Israeli lion pendant, right? So I have this, I believe that's what that is, right? And that helps me tap into that energy as well, energy from Israel, right? Because I have lifetimes there as well. And all these things reside in my soul and I wear these things. And then I have this beautiful mask from back in the day when everything started to be crazy that my friend also made me. My friend Debbie Akers made me, and it's a lion mask, right? So this is my lion mask. See, I don't know if you can see it, but everything's kind of in a knot, and I carry it with me, and I wear it, but it's lions, right? And this helps me tap into lion energy. Is it upside down? I don't know if you can see it. You can see it. See the line? It's beautiful. Debbie Akers made this for me, right? Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I mean, I'm so blessed. Everybody's so great. Everybody's so amazing, and I'm so blessed. So, and thank you. So, but this mask helps me tap into the lion energy, right? So I wear a lion mask on my face. People are less likely to fuck with me when I have my mask on back in the day because you don't mess with a lion. You know what I mean? So if I have this energy, right, on my mask, right, this helps those things. So it will literally, the energy of the lion will deter people away from starting, arguments with me or having a problem with me, right? And Debbie gave me this gift because it is lion energy, and that's a primary core of who I am, lion energy, right? And we'll have to talk about that stuff on another day. But we'll get to it as well. And it's Christ energy as well. So, so think about what you put on you and what you're wearing. Does it invite stuff? Does it deter stuff? Does the energy pull it to you? Does it push stuff away? Everything's as gifts and tools to help us in some way, shape, or form, both in earth world, right? As well as metaphysically. So like I have this pendant here that I got from somebody before all the COVID stuff went down, and this girl is really amazing and I love and miss her. But, just like everybody else, this kind of went to the wayside, our relationship a little bit because of the COVID shit. I don't have the same beliefs as a lot of people. I get that I'm different, but some people can't get past their belief shit, and it is what it is. And hopefully maybe she's in a different space of that now because she was a beautiful soul and we had lifetimes together. But this girl makes beautiful shit, beautiful stuff, all stones and stuff. So this is one of the little pendants that she made, right? And it's fantastic, right? But the stone itself helps to bring in money. It has citrine. It's a little citrine tree, but it needs to be washed. right? Because it's been sitting in my house for a while. So it's a little dusty. It used to sit on my neck, but it has copper. But this whole pendant is like a money tree. So it's about abundance, right? So it brings in financial abundance. So it's really wicked cool, right? But if nobody teaches us about these things, right, our soul always knows and it calls it in. But if nobody teaches us, then we don't know. So this is for you, Tamika. Anything you find that you feel called into for this energy, ask God to show you. Ask God that you pick it up. Ask God that you know, right? And start looking for those things that are in that time frame. But I'm picking up 1920s energy. And what's really interesting is I'm picking up Pearl Harbor with that. So look into some military shops and stuff. I would also look into Hawaii, right? And Hawaiian Islands and old world Hawaiian island stuff to tap into this. Because those are some of the energies that come in with this. Neat stuff, right? So where are we time-wise? So let me know how it goes, girl.
It's 9:06.
Okay. All right. Tonight it's 9:06 now. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Or our plan is to do next weekend. I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And whatever you celebrate, may it be the greatest. And I'm going to try not to cry because I'm becoming so much more emotional now. It's rough for me. It's rough. I'm a Capricorn moon. All right. Thank you, guys. See you next week. Much love to you all. Thanks. Bye-bye.